evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. Said we do want to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys on a rainy Monday evening here in the Chicagoland area. It's been raining quite heavily for the last 24 hours, if not maybe a little bit more. But I guarantee you we have a great show tonight to keep you entertained, amused, and informed since the last time we've been on the air. Tonight we have much to talk about. But as you guys all know, our college students are either leaving home for the first time or will be returning back to a college campus, whether it's a college or university campus. And tonight to talk about safety on college campuses, as well as safety for your family, is our wonderful guest, Safety Educator Javondlynn Dunagan, owner of JMD Defense, LLC. She'll be here tonight to talk to us about campus safety awareness, as well as other things you can do as a parent, a family, and even the student that's going away to keep everybody connected, safe. Javondlynn always gives great advice. And so we're looking forward to talking to her tonight in just a little bit. Sitting in the co-host chair is our girl, the blonde bombshell, the one and only Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Good evening, Kay Renee. How are you? And happy Monday, darling. It's a manic Monday for me, but happy Monday, my love.
Happy Monday to you and our listening audience. It's been a very interesting weekend. I know we've been off the air for a few days, and before we get started, I wanted to just pay homage to, all of us. There's a saying, it takes a village to raise a child. And I know you've had a village. I had my village, and one of my dearest, she was like my third grandmother, made her transition on Thursday at the ripe old age of 94, Mrs. Dolores.
Wow.
And I want to just send my prayers to her granddaughters, LaDonna Meyer, Nidra Meyer, and her great granddaughter and great grandson, Shea Cornell and Oscar Jenkins. Sending you lots of love right now, knowing that Lois she's doing her thing, and she gave me so much great advice throughout my years. And interesting enough, a lot of people don't know this. When my parents got married in my childhood home that I live right now, she was the one that did the decorations for the wedding. So to me, I feel she's been like my grandmother by default. So it's just interesting. I know we're going to be talking about transitions that happened since we've been off the air, but I want to just pay homage to her.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. My condolences. We started the show off with a death. So, just sorry. I was trying to bring everybody up, but that is just horrible. I am so sorry. She's lived a great life. And again, just so sorry to you. My condolences. Hopefully we can, get to the rest of the show and wow. Yeah, boy, 94 years old. What a great life, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, as we said before, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about tonight. We've had a lot of highs and lows since the last time we've been on, and we definitely will bring you guys all the latest news as well, too. Kay Renee, so how was your weekend otherwise?
It was, it was okay. Actually, here in Chicago, there's always something to do. And Saturday was so hot as you know what? I did a drive, not a drive by, but just drove around Chicago's neighborhoods. And it was just so nice to just get out, and just enjoy summer in Chicago. Right.
Oh, okay. Where did you go, or did you explore a certain area, or?
Just downtown, of course, drove through Pilsen, just drove along different neighborhoods. And I was just like, wow, this is kind of cool. Because, when I do get a car and I have so much to do, run around doing laundry and stuff, someone just said, you just need to stop, breathe, and just enjoy the city. And I did.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. Great for vacations and getaways and staycations and things like that. So okay, all right, very good.
You were out and about this past weekend, looking all gorgeous as ever.
Oh, thank you. Most weekends I am out because I do have a very active lifestyle. And,
Hmm.
with me writing the column for Bronzeville Life, I'm out, covering events and things like that. But yeah, it was great. Shout out to my girlfriend, Miss Katrina Waddy. She and my friend, Mr. Andy Delaney. They got married last weekend in Las Vegas, but their wedding reception here in Chicago was this past weekend, or this past Saturday night, and it was a beautiful time. We had a great time dancing and celebrating, and so they are now on their way to Dubai, and then it will continue on to the Maldives. And so, yes, Boo Bear dropped them off at the airport just a few hours ago, and so they're on their way to having a wonderful honeymoon. And I can't wait till they get back. I told her, I said, bring me just something, whatever you can drop in your bag. I don't care. It could be a coaster, a pen, a pencil, whatever the case may be. So I am so excited for them and their wonderful honeymoon. They won't get there until Wednesday.
Okay. Because that's a
Yeah.
long flight, I
Oh,
would
it's a very
imagine.
long flight. It's a
Yeah.
long flight from here to Dubai, but then from I think they have a layover in Dubai, and then they go on up to the Maldives. And by the time they get there, it'll be Wednesday of this week when they finally arrive
Yeah.
in the Maldives. So I wish them the best, the best, the best, the best.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes. Uh-huh. All right. Well, let's start off. As you guys all know, we are a health and wellness show. Each and every evening, we try to bring you the latest COVID-19 update numbers. I know you guys are so sick of hearing about COVID, but COVID has not gone anywhere, and we do
Hmm.
want to keep everybody informed. Coronavirus in Illinois. Now, the numbers are done on a weekly basis now.
Hmm.
And so the numbers for last week was 30,000 new cases. We had 59 deaths, and 59 counties are now at a high level of alert when it comes to COVID transmission. Illinois health officials reported 30,762 new cases over the week here in the state, along
Hmm.
with 59 additional fatalities. And as I said before, 59 of those counties here in Cook County, well, state of Illinois and the various counties, they are at the high community level, high risk of people catching the COVID. In
Hmm.
previous weeks, the state reported 35,371 new cases, 48 deaths, and at that time, 66 counties were at the high level. The week before, the state reported 32,286 new cases and 52 deaths. So it's not like COVID has gone anywhere. People are still catching COVID. Again, as I said last week when we were on the air, I know several people who are currently battling COVID. They're not hospitalized. I can say it. I couldn't at first, but they, are battling COVID. And when you talk to people nowadays, they be like, "Yeah, I wish I could make it, but unfortunately, I have COVID." So it has become a very commonplace to hear people saying they have COVID.
Yep. And our wonderful president is now out of isolation because he's had COVID not once but twice. So, what we say on this show, Art, we wear the mask until June, November 2025. And
We do,
and
yes, we do.
I've been wearing my mask when I go outside. I don't deviate.
Right. Very good. All right. Well, as you guys all know, the top news story of the day is that Olivia Newton-John, the singer who had been battling breast cancer for over 30 years, lost her fight. The Australian-born Newton uh, started recording in her native country of Australia back in 1960s. By the 70s, she had a hit worldwide, including the 1974 Grammy winning Song of the Year. I Honestly Love You. As you guys all know, in 1978, which was the prime of most of our teens, and running to the theater to go see Grease. Me and my friends, we used to all imitate and play like we were in Grease. Everybody had the blue jeans, the leather jacket, you name it. Her co-star was John Travolta, and that was in 78. And so she died today at the age of 73. And I was not ready to hear about the fact that Olivia Newton-John had passed away. What are your thoughts on this?
When I saw a post from one of our mutual Facebook friends, I saw her name, and some just said, look up Miss Olivia. And when I saw it, I said, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Because I said it just seems like the people that we grew up with, we about to check out of this dimension. We going somewhere else. And I
Right.
knew one thing I loved about Olivia, she was a fighter. When it was announced that she announced that she had breast cancer, she's like, I'm going to fight this. She became a fierce, strong advocate for breast cancer awareness, and did not she did not play victim. She's like, I'm going to be a survivor. And, this is probably a blessing more so than anything else. I guess the
Mhm.
sad part about it is, it went into remission, came back, and it started to metastasize.
Right.
So, I've been listening literally, Art, to Olivia Newton-John music since the announcement of her transition. And I mean, there's so many songs, Hopelessly Devoted to You, Summer Nights with Grease. But the one I played, I love the song, It's Gotta Be a Strange Twist of Fate and telling me that heaven can wait. I mean, I have the 45 to that single. So, it's just, I'm glad she came this way. She lived her dash. And at the end of the day, we all have to go this way. And we just want to make sure that while you're here, do what you want to do what makes you happy. Because you
Right.
only get one chance to be who you are. So,
Yes, yes. Well, truly an icon, a legend. I'm
yes.
sure as the week goes on, more people will pay tribute. Actually, her co-star John Travolta did a wonderful tribute to
Yes, he
her
did.
once he found out about her passing. And, it's unbelievable that all of these icons are leaving us like this. I mean, really, this is the backdrop of our childhood. And I understand the circle of life and how it all works, but this is just unbelievable. So,
Hi, Candace.
yeah.
Hi,
To fight
Brittany.
cancer for 30 years is right. It
Yeah,
really is.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. It really is. Hey Lynn,
Hi,
she had
Lynn.
2 shots booster. I still caught it. It's still here. Oh,
Yes, it
I'm
is.
sure. I'm sure. Yep,
Yes.
I agree. I
We're
agree.
keeping you in prayer,
Absolutely.
Miss Lynn.
Yep, that's my good buddy. Yep. Loved Olivia looking really good and well rested, brother Chat and sister Cat. Oh, thank
Oh,
you so
thank you,
much. We
Marguerite.
appreciate you, Marguerite. We really do. All right. So we had another death. Actor Roger Mosley passed away. Let's talk about that.
Yes, for those who don't know who Roger E. Mosley was, an actor, but he was best known for his role of Theodore T.C. Calvin of Magnum PI. Now, if you don't know who Magnum PI is, of course, we're telling our age, but Tom Selleck, which, he's a cutie pie anyway, but he played his pilot in the series because, again, remember, Magnum PI was based in where? Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Favorite
Hawaii.
place,
My
yes.
favorite place. Yes.
So he died he was in an accident, and he suffered injuries and then succumbed to those injuries at the age of 83. And so when I saw how old he was, I said he couldn't be that old, because
Yeah.
I remember watching Magnum PI, and I said, oh, look at TC. That's what he was called, but
Right.
he
Right.
was literally his trusted Tom Selleck's trusted sidekick. So, he's another one that he's played in other movies, but that's what he's best known as in Magnum PI.
Yes, he is. He is such a tremendous loss. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, friends, colleagues, and supporters. Just horrible in many different ways. All right. Are there any other deaths we need to talk about?
Ooh, those were enough, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yep. Betty
Those,
makes a great comment. She said, I have no idea. He was
I
83.
know.
He looked much younger than his years. As you said, an icon of, all of these icons are
They're
definitely leaving
leaving
us.
us.
Yeah, they definitely are. And then he was 83. Yep,
Yeah,
83 years old. Yeah.
yeah,
But when you think about Marla Gibbs and how old she is, and
yes.
she's still doing what she does best,
Mhm.
there are quite a few of them that are still out here doing the doggone thing. Because how old would Loretta Devine be now? She would have to
The
be in her
70s. She's
right,
in the 70s, yeah.
right.
And she
Yeah,
looks fabulous. So,
she
you
does.
know,
She
and
does.
and Marla Gibbs, actually she and Stan Shock are coming out with a movie, a holiday movie coming out, and seeing the photos of them two together, just
Right.
starring in a
Yes.
movie. And
Yes.
Marla's in her 90s. So, and she
She
looks
does.
awesome.
She
Awesome.
does. She does. We're trying to get Christine Houston here on the show. She's the creator of 227,
227.
which is the show that really gave everybody their, catapult into huge success.
Yeah.
That's where we met Sandra and Regina
Regina
King.
King.
Yes,
Yes.
all those. So we are definitely waiting to see if we can get Miss Houston on the show, because we are just excited to talk to her about creating such a show like that. So, all right, let's see. Loretta is in her 70s, I think. Yes, thank you. Yep, she is. She's doing a hell of a job on P Valley. Loretta is just
I gotta
killing.
watch it so we can have a
Yeah,
conversation, because I know you've been saying, okay, Renee, you gotta watch it. So I've got to
yeah.
that will be my homework assignment this week, to watch.
There's only one more episode to watch. And so I
Okay.
kind of would advise you to kind of catch it from the beginning and come
Yes.
all the way through so that it makes good sense to you.
Gotcha.
I apologize, you guys, about my lighting being off tonight. I'm still dealing with a lighting issue. I had another shirt on thinking that would help. This hasn't. So please forgive the fact that my lighting is going in and out, you guys. All right. Who is this? Toya says she thinks that Marla Gibbs is close to Betty White's age. Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Because matter of fact, when everybody was talking about Betty White, people were putting posts and memes up. Think about our queen. This was our equivalent of Betty White, which is Marla Gibbs, which is very true. All right, well, go ahead and start into news that you have tonight.
Well, Emmett Till would have been 81 last week, but his accuser, Miss Carolyn Bryant Doem, is now in hospice care, and in Kentucky. She's 88, and we know she lied, right, about saying that Emmett Till whistled at her, and which really started a bad chain of events that caused his murder. And the Justice Department's thing, they think about accusing, having charges against her, which I think they should. I don't care if she is in hospice, because
so 83 years old, she's
88.
in hospice, 88, and she's in hospice.
Mm-hmm.
So what would they just press the charges against her to say they pressed the charges against her? Because, I guess she's been walking around with that guilt on her all these years. And
do you think she was guilty? I don't think so.
Oh, well, then why would they be pressing charges? You know what I'm saying? Because she lied, correct?
Because she lied. Oh, she lied. But
yeah, right.
You thinking that she felt guilty? I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Because she would have came out a long time ago and said something.
She would have. Exactly. I don't think she felt guilty. She felt she got away with something. And, when things like that, again, karma won't let you get away with things like that.
Right. Yes, I believe it. Okay, let's go back to some comments here. Hey, Betty, she said, I finally buckled and watched both seasons in 2 days. I have to tell you, I was not ready. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. It is not. P Valley is not for the faint of heart. It really, and let me tell you guys this. I am a liberal, and some of the things that I saw in there, I was like, my Lord, my Lord. I became a conservative, but it was good. It was the young man who plays Little Murder. He really is truly
Wait,
an
that is the name of
amazing
his
actor.
character, Art
That's
Little
it.
Murder?
Yeah, Little Murder is the name of his
Oh,
character.
Lord.
And when I say to you, we'll talk about all of this because there are a couple of people who watch this show who have all agreed that they want to get in on that conversation when we have it. And so we definitely will talk about it.
I gotta catch up now.
It is something else. It is something
Where
else.
is
It
it
really
playing?
is.
Is it playing on BET or
It's on Stars. It's on Stars.
it's on Stars?
That's grown folks TV for real at nighttime. Oh yeah, it
That's
is.
grown folks,
It really is. It look.
okay.
It's nothing for you to be sitting around with the kids or the grandkids talking about come on watch this with grandma or come on sit down with mama. No, you got to be of a right mindset to watch it. I mean, I love all of it. I mean, seeing that that's a world that I've always been fascinated about, a world that, really, that was a world that I would have loved to go into, just couldn't go into it. But enter the underworld like that, or the world of illusion, sex, fetish, fantasy. I love all of that stuff. So it definitely is interesting. I have to give them a huge shout out on that. All right, here we go. Chucalissa, Mississippi. Yes, Chucalissa, honey. That place is a mess. And Patrice,
is that the location?
That's the name of the place. And Patrice Woodbine, she a hot ass mess too. She's a hot mess. Yep. But yeah, I love Uncle Clifford, my favorite character. That's so interesting. And then we are back at 227. What are we saying here? Oh, wait, I didn't skip one. Here we go. No Place Like Home, child. Yes, that's 227. Yes. And Shanita says that's been premiere Sunday, the summer of the pandemic. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I got some homework because I need to discuss. I need to be fully up to date on
chat from liberal to conservative in one viewing. I was just like, Lord, this is a little too much now. This too much. This too much. Yeah. But I mean, it's real. It is real. And once we have the show, enough people have seen it and we talk about it. A lot of what I saw is not new. I just couldn't believe that this is now being played out in film. So that's my thing, like, holy crap. So yes, it's interesting to say the least. Okay. Yes. Absolutely. All right, what else we got in news?
Well, good is after I'm intrigued, but I'm scared, as they say.
Yeah, you have to put your big girl panties on for this one, child, because it ain't right. It ain't for the faint of heart, but it's good.
I'm intrigued. There's a young woman who grew her nails for 24 years.
She grew her nails for 24 years.
Yeah, and they like 42 feet long. And she's in the Guinness Book of World Records. And she's a sister. And when I saw this, I said, oh my, she lives in Minnesota. Her name is Diana Armstrong, and she broke the Guinness World of Records for the longest fingernails in the world.
Right.
She carries nails, not like these, and these are mine, y'all, but I can't even top Miss Armstrong.
No.
42 feet and 10.4 inches worth as of March 13th, 2022.
Yes. Now, I'm going to have to co-sign with Toya. That's nasty on every level. I am. Now, let's go back, since we go back down memory lane a lot on this show. Yes. My late mom, God rest her soul, but she was a fingernail queen. But my mother's nails never got any longer than, let's say,
like this?
Maybe like this. No, like this. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like my mom's nails got long to the point where they started to curl. She would go and have people. But my mother, she still was able to clean, still able to do things. They were naturally her nails. This is way before people started putting all that, overlays on nails, things like that. I think back then they used to put almost like a paper tissue type of situation over your nails. I've had a couple of family members who have grown their nails out, but anytime you are telling me that a woman's nails, and I saw the picture of her, are 42 inches long, I'm worried about things like, how does one wipe thy ass? How does one, just all of that.
And check this out, Art. It takes her 24 bottles of nail polish
to paint her nails.
And 2 whole days that her grandchildren, they help paint her nails.
Yeah, see, obviously grandma not doing anything. And I'm wondering how is grandma taking care of her grandma parts, her kibbles and bits. Cause I mean, that's,
she's 63. God bless Miss Armstrong. But, I have mixed feelings about that. I'm with you, Miss Toya. When they curl, they should be cut. Because, you got to type, you got to cook, as Art said, you got to wipe the ass.
Yeah, clean by ass, cook, right? Never eat in her house. All of that, all of that. But see, you have to realize this was a trend at one point, because remember Barry White's wife, Glodine, Miss Glodine had nails like that. So I mean, this was a trend. So with this lady being 63, she was probably on the tail end of, because I'm telling you that was the big thing in the late 80s, early 90s, that these women had these nails. I even know somebody, she went to go work at a law office, and I kept saying, girl, how are you typing and filing? And and then eventually she had to get rid of them nails because the administrators was like, listen, it's a distraction. So I don't know. I love when people have beautifully done nails, but when it gets to that excessiveness like that, it really makes me wonder,
Of course, I would think about asking the not so obvious, who would want to have intimate relations? I don't know if I could would you want to have intimate relations with someone whose nails are that long?
No, I definitely don't. I definitely don't. So, no, I mean, it almost would be like going to bed with a lobster, I guess, or a crab, or, I don't know. Just not my thing. Yeah, no, I just, I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine. Let's see. Let me see. When they get long, they can't even type without the nail getting stuck in the keyboard.
True, Miss Toy. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, very true. So, it's nasty. It's nasty now. Yes.
Well,
okay, so here we go. Wait.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Miss Betty.
I saw her interview. She started growing them at 15. Daughter passed her in sleep. Wait a minute now. After her 15-year-old daughter passed in her sleep from an asthma attack, she said her 15-year-old daughter polished her nails. Okay. She started growing them after her daughter died. Okay. So it's probably an homage to her daughter, but still, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot.
I wonder if her daughter comes to her in a dream and said, Mama, it's time to cut them.
Let me see. Here we go.
She only expressed why she stopped cutting them
from
her family.
Yeah.
Recently.
Okay, so her daughter and her family have been her caregivers for years. That's what I was getting ready to say. Yeah. That's nasty, baby. And Eddie Murray. Yeah, it is. It really is. It just, I don't know. All right. What were you going to say before we keep going?
No, well, I wanted to tell about some good news, some history that happened over the weekend, which I'm, for those who are in the, in the armed forces, whether you're in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. Well, guess what? The Marines has its first Black 4-star general. Isn't that cool?
That's very cool.
Lieutenant General Michael Langley was promoted to the rank of general in a ceremony this past weekend, becoming the first Black 4-star general in the military's branch 246-year history. Can you imagine? It took them 246
Wow.
years to promote this man.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? And for him to just get to that level like that, but I'm like you, 246 years, you've got to be kidding me.
And here's the deal. He was promoted by our current president, Joe Biden, in June. And of course, the U.S. Senate had to confirm him. But I'm like, he will take over the U.S. Africa Command, which oversees the nation's our military presence in Africa, starting after, I guess, after Saturday. But he has been in the military for over 36 years. And
wow.
that just really, I'm kind of surprised about that, because I know I got to do some research. And I know we've had some 4-star generals, but maybe not in the Marines. I know we had them in the Army, because I think about General Davis, who was in the 50s and 60s. And what Colin Powell, General?
Colin Powell. That's what I thought.
Right,
that's what I thought.
But I think he was in the Army.
Okay, because I could have sworn Colin Powell was a general. Yes.
Right. But this is in the Marines, so they some tough ones.
Yes. He looks like he plays no games. He does. And then right. And then he's still young also. He is. So what a great accomplishment. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. We are very proud of him. We're super proud of him and how far he has come.
The salute.
Yes. The salute. Thank you, sir. Right. We appreciate you. Yes. Here we go. We got more comments right here. Congratulations to our Marine General 4 stars, brother. Yes. Congratulations. What an accomplishment, a major accomplishment. Okay. Major. All right. Yes, anything else we need to cover? I did want to mention real quick about the fact that actress Anne Heche was in a very bad car accident this past weekend. She, I guess, hit a vehicle, then ended up speeding down the street. She was in a Mini Cooper, and she actually drove the Mini Cooper through someone's home. She's in very critical condition. Matter of fact, when the accident happened, people were asking, hey, are you okay in there? She said, no, she was not. Anne Heche has had several public breakdowns after her relationship ended with Ellen. She had a breakdown. I also did a little research and found out that she had been sexually abused by her dad when she was a child. And, a lot of people were making jokes about this, but mental illness is no joking matter. And we really do feel bad for Anne Heche, and we hope that she gets better. But they say she's in really bad condition in that hospital. So I don't know if it was a suicide attempt or, was she drinking quite a bit and drove and did this? We don't know what the deal is, but we do feel so sorry for Anne Heche, and we hope that she gets better. And, I'm sure a lot of her resentment is the fact that she and Ellen were an item at one point, and look at how Ellen's career has gone. And, and then it was a long time before Anne had any opportunities with her career. So, it's a tough field to be in the entertainment world, and people don't realize that.
Yeah, my prayers go out to her, and also the young lady whose house she hit.
Yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, there's a GoFundMe for her because she's lost everything. Thankfully, when the car came into the house and it almost exploded into flames, she was like very close to her. She didn't hit her, thank the Lord, but now her house that she had is no more. So, it wasn't, of course, and we were praying for Anne, but also praying for the young lady whose house was damaged, was destroyed.
Right. Absolutely. Can you imagine, though, you're at home on a Saturday, Sunday, minding your business, and the next thing you know, somebody is driving through your house? And can you imagine just even the phone call? You know how you and I call each other when something happened? We close to each other. Girl, somebody done drove through my house. One of them, like, you got to be kidding me. And then it was a famous celebrity that drove through our house. So, yeah, we pray that it all turns out well. Let me see what Toya says. She says the house is total. Yep. It's got to be. Yep. That's the saddest thing ever. Yep, the house is destroyed. It caught on fire upon impact. Yeah, that's just too much. Just way too much. All right. Well, our guest this evening is no stranger to the show. We just love and appreciate her. If it was not for her, I would have never decided to do a show from home. So you guys all know she is my source, my inspiration. She's been my friend since we were young children, and I just adore her in so many different ways. She's one of those people that I just love talking to her as a person. But when it comes to matters of security, Javondlynn Dunagan is the boss. She is the greatest of all times. Whether I've had her on the radio, here on the digital platform, the advice that she gives to us is always very sound advice. And so tonight she's here to talk to us about our young people going back to school or going off to school for the first time, as well as other things that families can do. Young people will be coming back into the house now that summer is winding down, and a lot of these parents have firearms in the house. So we do want to make sure we're doing everything the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, my friend, security expert, educator, and just an all-around fabulous woman, the one and only Miss Javondlynn Dunagan of JMD LLC. Yay, security.
Hey, Javondlynn.
Hello. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. You look amazing tonight, my friend.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good. That was a great introduction. Thank you, Art. I love you so much. You know I do.
Oh, I love you too, my friend. Look, who knew that you would become the ultimate security expert, from the sandbox to now securing the world? So that's what I appreciate more than anything, Javondlynn.
Thank you. Hey, sister girl. How are you?
Miss Javondlynn, how you doing?
I'm good. You took my seat. I love it, and you're doing great. I started out and I just moved on away, and Art is just doing fabulous.
Oh no, thank you so much, Javondlynn, for just encouraging him, because we need his voice. So thank you for that. Yes, keep encouraging Mr. Chat Daddy.
That's right.
Yes. Well, thank you, my friend. We appreciate you. Javondlynn, introduce yourself. Tell everybody about your amazing company. And then I want to get into this conversation this evening. You and I were just talking that a lot of these parents are just so excited that their children are going off to school or returning back to school. But I've been seeing a lot of things that I was like, oop, that's a red flag. So go right ahead, introduce yourself, your company, and let's get into this conversation.
Okay. I am a retired federal probation officer. I retired in 2016. I did that job for 25 years. And I went into this security self-defense business because I used to be afraid of firearms. And so I wanted to empower ladies because I overcame that fear. I know that was strange. People will say, you used to be a federal probation officer. But early in my career, I got promoted to a supervisor, and I didn't need to go in the field. So I didn't have a need to learn about firearms the way I do now. So right before I retired, I became certified as a firearms officer. And then after I retired from probation, I decided to focus on empowering women. Even though men can take our classes, my focus for the early part of my business was on women.
Very good. And so far, you've done a great job. You've started a women's gun club that is going very strong. I'm just always excited when I see the number of ladies. And these are not, a lot of people would think these are law enforcement women. These are just everyday, regular women who want to protect themselves and know more about firearms, correct?
Exactly. In 5.5 years, we now have had 615 ladies to join the gun club. 99% are African-American women. They're everyday middle and upper class women, all ages from 25 to 80 something. I have some 80 something year old ladies in the gun club. Everybody's concerned about safety. It's universal. So it crosses all demographics and ages and races as well.
Yes. Well, the one thing that I want us to talk about more than anything tonight, and that's only because I'm one of those people, I pay attention to just so many things. As much as I love social media, and I think it has all brought us together and it allows us to live in real time in other people's lives, there are things that I've seen that I go, oh boy, maybe you shouldn't have done that. I can go back to even prom season. People have had prom send-offs at their home, and you see the address plastered, on the house. I've seen, people, this is where my child gonna be staying in the dorm, and this is their dorm. And to me, all of that is just a big, huge safety risk. So let's talk about some things that you have always told parents as well as my audience over the years what to be careful of.
And you nailed it. A lot of times in our excitement, we're actually giving criminals a lot of information. So I remember people back in the day when somebody died and there was a funeral, somebody always stayed back at home so that somebody wouldn't go and break into their home. So as we get into this mood of, hey, my child is about to go away to school, there are some things we need to think about, not just in preparing our kids where they're away at school, but also thinking about what we're doing at home. We're kind of announcing, okay, somebody's leaving the house, right? So that's one less person, especially if you're a single mom and you only have one child, right? Then they know that this isn't going to be more of an empty house once the mom or the dad leaves on a regular basis. You can be excited on move-in day and post pictures, but I wouldn't necessarily be as detailed about the specific dorm that the student is moving in, and certainly not the dorm room number, because that's giving a lot of information out to individuals. When kids go away to school, there's certainly some things that I recommend. I took my daughter's keys. She didn't need her house keys way away at school. And more importantly, I had a gun in the house. So I didn't want her to pop home, say surprise, and I wind up shooting somebody that I'm thinking is an intruder. So a lot of parents don't think about that. I mean, kids do not need their home keys. And especially if you are thinking about buying a firearm and your child is going away to school and they have no clue that now mom or dad has a gun in the house, that's even more reason to take their keys and let them know, hey, do not just surprise me, because anytime that door opens, I'm going to assume it's an intruder. So you're exactly right, Art, that parents in their excitement about the kids going away are forgetting some of those things. Because of course, once you announce the school that your child is going to, you can look up when move-in day is. You can find out when they're leaving. We get on the road and we do. I mean, I'm guilty of it as well. And I try to be mindful of that, especially if somebody's staying in my house, then I'm not as worried about it. But if I live by myself, and I know that nobody's house sitting, then I'm going to be less inclined to announce, hey, we're getting on the plane, we're going on our way to Morehouse, or we're on our way, to the U of I or wherever, because people are always watching.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are. I couldn't agree more with you on that. What are some of the other things that people need to do? I love that, every time you say that about how you took the keys from your daughter, didn't want her to come home and be like, surprise, you thinking it's an intruder. I never in a million years would have thought about that. I probably still have the keys to my parents' home, and I've been out of their house, hell, what, almost 50 years now? I mean, I left home when I was 2 or 3. But I mean,
had keys to other people's house, Javondlynn, besides my old parents' house. So no, that I definitely,
right.
I never would have
But
thought
I
that.
never thought of that. I never would have. I was worried about coming home and Mr. Earl or Miss So-and-so would be in the house, but not you worried that it could be an intruder. I just never even thought about that. That is really an ingenious idea. I never, thought about that. What else should parents be real mindful, and especially these young people? Because I tell young people, be careful about leaving your drinks around people when you go on college campuses as well too.
Yeah, when we used to be focused on leaving the drinks, but now we need to be focused on if a fight breaks out at a party or somebody gets kicked out of the party and they come back and shoot up the place. So I'm kind of shifting a little bit. We know most times you see people dancing with their drinks. The kids are not just putting their drinks down and going back to a drink. They are literally dancing with their drinks, and half the time they're in a section where they're just dancing. So I'm not as pressed about that because people are always around. That's old school, but they still should be mindful of that. I am more concerned about when they're at a party. And I've always said to people, when you feel the energy in a room shift, it's time to go.
That's
And
right.
when I'm at anybody's function at their house or whatever, and something doesn't feel right, then I get up and leave. And especially because I may have my firearm on me, because I don't want to have to pull my gun to defend myself. So when the kids are at a party in college, people get kicked out of parties. They don't get let in parties. And then we used to, when we saw a fight, we would be standing there peeking and look at the person fighting. Nowadays, you see somebody fighting, you better get out of there because you don't know if somebody's going to pull out a gun or whatever.
Right.
So that's one of the tips that I like to tell young people when they go away to college. You know, this is no time to be looking and filming because stuff changes really, really quickly. And you just want to be
Mm-hmm.
mindful when the police show up, you don't want to get caught up because they really don't know who was involved. That's
Right.
one of the main things that I like to tell parents. And one other thing that, you know, I don't think students think about when they go and move into a dorm, they usually are not thinking about all the exit points in that dorm in case of a fire.
Right.
You know, I know they probably do fire drills here and there, but a lot of times wherever you go, you're going to usually exit out the same way that you've come in. So when they go into theaters, they go into parties, they go into anything, just like what happened unfortunately at the old click when those
Yeah.
individuals were killed here. They were trampled. They went back down the same staircase that they came in when it was
Right.
probably other exits in the space. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just a few tips.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You don't think about that. You're right. Make sure you know how to get out, know where the exits are. Being a former flight attendant, we used to tell people all the time, just because you came in that front entry door, this is not. Look around you, figure out where your exits are. A lot of times exits are just a few rows behind you versus running to the front of the airplane, you know?
Exactly. And I know Kay Renee will think about, remember this, when we were growing up, you know, as girls, we always had to stick together. There was a buddy system, some kind of
Yeah.
system in place, right?
You were
And
reading my mind, Javondlynn, because I was going to ask, what would you tell parents? Because a lot of kids, especially girls who have to go to the library,
yep,
study, and you be going by yourself at night, you got to have that buddy system because you just, I'm sure you heard in Chicago about this man just touching women's rear ends just out of just because he wants to. And,
exactly.
you can't be doing that.
Well, you know what unfortunately happens, and it happened to me when I went to Hampton in '84. You get on campus, you forget about you're in this, you forget the big city, you forget about crime, and then you're in La La Land because you're on this wonderful campus, and then you don't realize that there are people walk onto these campuses sometimes, or people you don't know what students come to the campus and could commit crime. So when it comes to a buddy system, we know that on these campuses, girls are raped, boys are raped, things happen. So I'd say get to know the police officers that are on that campus, the security officers. Get to know them. If you're going out someplace and it's a guy or a girl or somebody that likes you, then make sure you let somebody know. Get to your roommate, preferably they get along. Let them know where you're going. Touch base, call, make sure somebody knows that you're studying at the library late and have somebody walking on campus. A lot of the campuses now have escort systems. I would use that,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't get in the habit of being at a library or being out late walking on campus because these kids walk on these campuses like La La Land and they don't even realize that anything can happen in the daytime and at
Mm-hmm.
nighttime. But you should have a buddy
Mm-hmm.
system. And, you know,
Yeah.
in Chicago, we have grown up now with our heads on swivel, right? Because so
Mm-hmm.
much is going on. So when you meet a roommate that's from the South or a place that they are not experiencing a lot of crime, you got to teach them about safety.
That's
Let's
right.
lock this door whenever you leave. When you bring in friends in the room, respect my things, but still put your stuff up. Tell your kid, put your stuff up
That's right.
because people steal. And even if
Mm-hmm.
your
Mm-hmm.
roommate doesn't steal your stuff, they're friends that come in because I just know we used to come in each other's rooms and we would sit on the other side of the bed and nobody's really watching the person to make sure they're not take because you assume they're not going to take anything, but people steal.
That's
So
right.
you just got to be
Mm-hmm.
mindful of teaching people about some safety things that they may have learned because in Chicago we're always on edge and we're always watching whatever's going on.
I had a college roommate one time, and his friend used to would come over, and I wouldn't be in the room, and he would come in and eat up all my snacks and drink up all of my stuff. And so one day I made him a lovely batch of Long Island iced tea. And instead of lemon juice, I made it with citron magnesia. And so, yeah, and so he was drinking that Long Island iced tea and just drinking it, and he ended up in the infirmary for over a week because he had damn near, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So there's no statute of
yeah.
limitations, I hope.
Yeah. We all these stories we done learn. We done learn. I done learned. Trust and believe. I done learned all the statutes of limitation. But
That's right.
absolutely.
That's
But
right.
I had to teach him a lesson. You was eating up, drinking up all of my stuff. So guess what? We done made you a little citron magnesia cocktail. Yes, absolutely. So how about that? Yes.
And that is a very
Yes.
real point that some students come where their parents can send them care packages and they have money and aunties and grandmas, and then other kids are there by the skin of their teeth and they don't know that they shouldn't just take your stuff. So that's that conversation, because that can turn into something bigger. But one of the things that I do want to mention is I bought my daughter a small safe. It's almost the equivalent of what they now have, or what I know are kind of like gun safes. They're all just kind of miniature size safes. And we put the safe in a bag, in another bag, in another bag. So nobody knew that it was a safe. And it was just like in a laundry, like a tote bag. So when she went in her safe to get her valuables and her emergency cash, right? She always did. And I told her, don't do it when anyone's in your room or anyone watches, because this has to be your secret space. And so that has helped, because in those rooms, kids have jewelry. They like to bring their class high school ring, their passport usually, is in there. If they have a passport, you just never know. These kids on vacation for spring break are going out of the country.
That's
Far
right.
Yes, they
different
are.
than
Yes.
New York,
Yes, they
but
are.
they're
Yeah.
not traveling. So those valuable things should be put in a safe, but in a bag, in another bag, in another bag, so nobody can see it. You just always have to be thinking ahead that what if somebody did something. And so
Right.
those are
Yes.
a few tips.
Yes. Wow, those are excellent tips that you gave out. So let's talk about this new campaign that you're working on that I think just is incredible. Summer is winding down. These children are coming in the house. We hear more and more stories in the news about the child found a gun in the house. Next thing you know, the child is dead, or they've shot another person in the house. So let's talk about this new campaign that you're doing.
So you're exactly right. Unfortunately, kids and unlocked guns just do not mix. And so everybody wants to have a firearm, but they don't want to take the responsibility of putting the gun up. So you want the gun handy when you need it, but you also have to be mindful and take some extra precautionary measures if you have a child in the home. It's just simple as that. I don't have children in the home anymore, but when friends have come in town and brought their children, I have to put my gun up. A friend is coming in town. They'll be in town tonight. The 12-year-old daughter is coming. So I've got to take some extra precautions now that I know this young lady is going to be in my house. So what I'm doing is I'm offering a free 2-hour safety class for any African American or Latino family member. They have to be adults, obviously, and they would take this class if they own a firearm or plan to buy one in 3 months. And when they leave class, they're going to get a gun lock and they're going to get a gun safe. So at least in those homes, the ones that we can connect with, they will have an opportunity, if they have a firearm, to lock up that firearm. Now, if they have multiple firearms, hopefully when they leave this class, they'll understand the importance of making the investments. You can get a gun safe for less than $50. If it's important enough to sustain that child's life and to protect that child's life, take the class. It's 2 hours. It's free. It can't get any better than that. You get a gun lock and a gun safe. But if you have multiple firearms, then take the time out and buy the safe. Because what people don't really realize, if you're in your home and you have a firearm and you leave it unattended, you could be criminally liable, even if it's not your child.
Yes.
What? I didn't know that.
You have a responsibility to lock up your firearm. It's a deadly weapon. And if an unauthorized user gets a hold of your gun, you could be criminally liable. So not just kids, but if a convicted felon, we all have them in our family, right? So you know that crazy person that may have the felony, maybe not be crazy. They just, they've come out of prison and they've changed their lives, but they're not supposed to have access to a firearm. So if you're going to want to own one, you need to be responsible. And too many of our children are finding firearms and shooting a sibling or shooting a parent or shooting somebody or themselves. And we can just easily change this. So I have classes at the end of August and classes in September, and the classes will be in Oak Lawn. You can go on my website and sign up, and they are completely free. And the targeted audience are African American and Latino families.
Wow, that is so beautiful. It really is. Kay Renee, we're going to have to make you a pistol pack at Mama soon.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I wanted to ask you, Javondlynn, given what happened in Highland Park on the 4th with Robert Cremo, and there is speculation that the parents maybe, what are your thoughts about that? The fact that his father agreed to sign the card for him to get a concealed weapon. What are your thoughts? Do you think the parents will be convicted or charged just from the scenario that you gave?
So let me explain the process and what the law says as of today.
Okay.
If a child is under 21, a parent that is eligible for a FOID card or has one already can apply for a FOID card for their child. So white families do this all the time. And now in my classes, I explain this to Black families and say, your child, you can get a FOID card for your child if you feel that they should have one or need one. The only thing that happened is different is at age 21, you can purchase, that's the age, a handgun and take concealed carry. Age 18, guess what? You can purchase a long gun, a rifle or shotgun or AK or AR. That's where the problem comes in. So you get your child a FOID card, you sign for it, and then at age 18, they can legally go buy a long gun, which can be a lot more deadly than a handgun. So that's the problem with what happened. He knew that his son had a temper, had already attacked them or made some allegations, some statements that he was going to kill them, commit suicide or whatever. So you know your kids, right? You know when your child has some issues. There is no way, if I thought my child had some issues, that I would sign off on a gun card knowing that at age 18 they could go out and legally buy a firearm. Not the handgun, but they could buy a long gun. And we know what's been going on with these long guns. So yes, I believe this parent should be charged because 2 months after, in the same year that he had threatened them, he signed off on the document. It makes no sense. And I don't understand how he can't be charged because he knew full well they had called the police. They had gone through those steps, but he still signed off for his son, knowing that boy was unstable. So that's my opinion on it.
Wow. L. Rick says, I believe that AKs and ARs should be outlawed. What do you think, Javondlynn?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a long gun person. I believe a handgun for self-defense or recreational shooting is enough. People that buy ARs, I don't know what their intent is. Some people like long guns. They like the power of them. You just won't find me teaching about them. We're seeing so much destruction. I just read about a sheriff, I think in North Carolina, that purchased them at his school, at a school to give to a school in case the resource officers need them to defend the school. And what's really dangerous, I think, about that is that if any of those kids, these kids are crazy. They will break into that school after hours. I don't care what the gadget is that's trying to keep them away from that gun that's locked up. They're going to get in there. And that's what makes me nervous. And somebody said that on the news. So, it's
I agree. Yep. I agree with you on that. I believe that, when they know that something is there, you have smart young people that, just for the hell of it, will try you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just, oh my God, just crazy. All right, Javondlynn, give them the information one more time on how they can get this free class. I think this is just incredible.
Thank you. It's my website, jmddefense.com. You can sign up for all of our classes on our website, jmddefense.com. We're located now in Oak Lawn, right off of 294, right past the Chicago Ridge Mall. So we have a beautiful training facility. Art, I'm gonna have to get you out there, and Kay Renee, so you all can see it.
Yes.
And I'm just, my entire mission is focused on safety education and responsible firearm ownership. If people want to have a firearm, I hope that they'll come to my agency to be trained, because we make sure that when you leave out of there, you have all the tools that you need. Now, if you get out there in the street and act a fool, don't call me. And the police, if they call me in the court, I'm going to say they didn't learn that with me. And
Right.
so I'm
Right.
always preaching and teaching about being responsible firearm owners and keeping your head on a swivel with safety education.
Yes, and I can attest to that, you guys. I really can. She's a very thorough instructor. She does not play. You've got to pay attention, and she will quiz you, and she gonna tell you how it is. And if you don't like it, do like I did. I'll be back. How about that? I ain't ready yet. How about that? But she's a tremendous instructor, and her classes are really wonderful. They are. Kay Renee, go right on in and talk to Javondlynn before we leave out.
Well, Javondlynn, first and foremost, thank you so much for continuing to live your purpose. And I'm definitely coming, because I've been contemplating myself. And so I want to make sure if I'm going to go and get trained, I want to be trained by the best. So, but I want to ask you, who continues to inspire you? Because obviously I know you and Art have known each other since y'all were in the sandbox. And I can tell you guys inspire each other, but who inspires you to keep doing what you do?
Oh, that's interesting. As far as, let me say this, I have a servant spirit, and I watch people who serve the community and who do what they do with the spirit of excellence. And if there are three people, even four, the fourth person is deceased, that I can say inspire me. One is Warren Buffett. I love his philanthropic spirit. Tyler Perry, his story as well. And he's such a philanthropist, as well as Oprah and how inspiring she is. But Mother Teresa. So those are the four, even though Mother Teresa is deceased, but those are the four who I try to embody. And one day, even though I start small with trying to give back and sow seeds, I know I'm going to be on that level where I just have all this money to really help and sow seeds. So when you ask me that question, I'm like, I can only think of those are the four people that I kind of think about all the time and want to emulate.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
What great for people to inspire.
Thank you.
Yes. And look, I'm gonna slide a fifth person in there. Her mother and my mother, the Thelma and Louise of the days back then, they were advocates, fighters for our education. Her mom and my mom did not play when it came to quality education for us. So that's why I only see my friend being the best at it, because she was raised by someone who told her, girl, you better get up and get it and do it right and do it with excellence. And that's all Javondlynn has been doing. That's all she's been doing.
Javondlynn, firecrackers for real.
Yes, they were. We have a question here. L. Ricks wants to know, is there still a 6 to 12 month wait for the FOIA cards?
So the FOIA cards, they're getting a lot better, and they're not taking as long. So I'm going to give people a tip. On the Illinois State Police website, Firearm Services Bureau, I have to remember where it is. If you dig just a little bit, there is a graph at the very bottom of the Firearm Services Bureau section, and it will tell you the timeline within the last 60 to 90 days, how fast they're completing them. So they're getting better, but the public doesn't know that they could kind of look at this timeline. And I haven't looked at it in the last couple of months, but they have gotten a lot better. I think people are getting theirs back within 30 and 60 days.
Mm-hmm. We have another comment that says, I agree with you. A handgun for self-defense is all you need.
Amen.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can't conceal a long gun. And what unfortunately happens is people run out and buy long guns and don't even know how to be proficient with a handgun. We had an incident over here in my development yesterday. And, of course, I have my firearm with me at all times, but I can't imagine somebody coming out the house with a long gun trying to handle the situation. It turned out fine, but people get long guns and don't know how to use a handgun, and it's just really most unfortunate.
Very good. Elric says, thank you. I will definitely come to your facility. I'm highly recommending to you guys. She is excellent at everything that she does. Betty says, thank you for your valuable information, Miss Dunagan. Yes, she does a doggone good job. I agree with her. Watika said, thank you. Good to see you again. Absolutely, yes. In closing, Javondlynn, what do you want to say to everybody?
Thank you, Art and K Renee, for having me on here. One final tip that I just like to tell everybody is, carjackings are on the rise. They've always been on the rise. They're just classifying them differently. That's why we're not hearing a lot of the statistics, right? It's just all numbers. But give them the car, right? Don't resist. We can get our cars back. And I hate to do the male-female thing, but in most of these carjackings, if not all, the women are not trying to get into shootouts. The men are the ones that are engaging in these shootouts with the criminals. So I try to tell people, please, just give them the car, get out, keep your purse in the trunk. Guess what they're not doing? They're not breaking in the trunks, right? So I keep a wallet on my body and my purse in the trunk. So when I run in and out of stores, my purse is in the most times I don't even need my purse for anything.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
if I have to jump out the car quickly, my purse is in the trunk. I'm gonna get the car back. They're not even going in the trunks. They're not even taking anything out the car. They're just taking the car to get to the next car. It's a game for them. But we're losing our lives trying to fight them and keep up with these kids. These kids are getting younger and younger. So that's all. I just want to say that because it's unfortunate that people are trying to approach people when they see them breaking in their car. That's a natural instinct, but they're coming out and breaking into cars and doing carjackings in groups because they know that we have firearms now. So that's why they're ambushing people. So that's all I want to say. I appreciate this opportunity. I hope.
Well, actually, you got some more comments, my friend. Hold on. We got some more comments. Have you heard about the new scheme about the $100 bill on the windshield that's being a part of a carjacking ploy? Have you heard about that one?
Yes, I have. And not just that, but a note on the windshield. So what I tell people to do is just drive off, go to another location. And as long as it's not obstructing your view, then it's no reason for you to stop and look at it. Because remember, criminals are always watching you. So you don't know who's sitting around watching and waiting to pounce on you. So I wouldn't take the bait. The other thing I do want to say is girls are decoys. These girls are decoys, so watch them too, because you don't know when they're setting you up. There was a situation in a Walmart a few years ago where a man went in there as an active shooter. The woman split off from him because she was trying to see who was going to try to take him out. As soon as this civilian tried to pull his gun, she shot him in the back of the head. She was the decoy. So I'm watching everybody. And when people are approaching you, watch their hands. One last thing, Art, I can talk forever. Let me just mention.
Please, we love you. Go ahead. Yes.
One thing. I'm not going to typecast and profile guys that are carrying these fanny packs, but they're carrying the fanny packs across their chest like a crossbody. Well, when I go to the gun range, I'm seeing particular individuals carrying those fanny packs with a gun because they can reach right here faster than they can reach low, right? And if you had to run, you got the thing around your arm, right? So when that young man in Burbank was being beaten, and where the police were trying to get this fanny pack or this bag off of him, however controversial it looked, he had a gun in that bag. You don't see young people carrying crossbody bags and purses. You see older people doing it. So be mindful when you see young guys. I'm not saying go call the police. I'm saying I'm watching them approach me because I don't know if a gun is in that fanny pack. And that's all. That's all. Just be watchful.
Okay. All right. Very good. This is the type of advice we want to give people. We want everybody safe. And this is why we have these conversations on this show. If you guys want to know more information, please visit my friend at jmddefense.com. That's jmddefense.com. Javondlynn Dunagan is our safety educator. She did a great job tonight. We really do appreciate you so much, Javondlynn. Let me see. I think you may have some more comments, my friend, because people are loving this conversation with you tonight.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's see. Comments. When is your next your next class? Yeah, conceal and carry class.
Okay. We have one opening this weekend, August 13th and 14th. Classes are 9 to 5 on both days. And then the next class for August is August 20th and 21st. And we have a few spaces left in that class.
Okay. All right.
You
Here
can
we
just
go.
go on my website and find out as much as you can. All right.
She said my grandson also pointed out a group of young men to me Saturday wearing sweats with the hoodies. Okay, I'm so glad somebody else brought this up because people thought I was picking on people, but I kept saying, why in the hell are these young people and I'm cold natured, but I'm old. Not why the hell is you in a hoodie and it's 100 damn degrees outside? I don't get that. What is that about?
Well, it's not just the hoodies. You know what I'm seeing is the full face mask, looking like a ski mask.
That's
and
scary too.
Most of us don't even want to wear a regular mask because we can't even breathe. So when I'm seeing these guys walking down with these masks, I'm a little nervous about that too. Now the hoodies without the sweatpants and just jeans and shorts, that seems common with these young people. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand it, but it's the full facial mask that make me nervous because most kids and young people don't want to wear a regular mask.
That's right.
So why would they have those on? And I just think it's unfortunate that I'm always trying to draw away from the police. Even though I'm retired law enforcement, right? I don't want them to look at me for any crazy reason, right? So why they walk out the house drawing attention to them just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah,
no, I don't get it.
Mask. Yeah, the full mask.
100 damn degrees. Yeah, me too. 100 degrees, and you out here with that on. You got a hoodie on, and I get what you're saying, Javondlynn, because that is a trend. The cut off jeans, flip flops and a hoodie. I get that because somebody even said, my kid goes in places, and the air conditioning in these stores have been very cold lately. But when you looking at a dude with some jeans, a full hoodie on, and that ski mask. That to me, and most of the time, you got to hold your pants up. I'm not understanding how you a criminal and you holding your damn pants up. I don't get that one either. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Here's another comment.
Yes.
The oversized hoodie is what they use to hide the firearms. Yeah, that's crazy. It really is. All right, you guys, go to JMDDefense.com, JMDDefense.com. More information about Javondlynn. We'll have her back on. We just love and appreciate her. Thank you for taking a time out of your schedule. I'm going to call you tomorrow because I think I got something for you to do this week to help promote this because I think it's great.
Thank you.
Yes,
all right. See y'all. Bye, K-Renee.
Bye,
Bye. Love you. Thank you, Javondlynn. Great show. Thank you. All right. Very good. JMD Defense, you guys. Please check Javondlynn out. K-Renee, I just love her. She's amazing.
Absolutely. And she's doing she is doing the damn thing about safety. And that's important. Given what our world is now, you must be safe.
Yes. Well, tomorrow night we'll be back. We're going to have some fun tomorrow night. We're going to have a really great show. We're going to talk about music, food, just a whole lot of just things. We always like to go back down memory lane on this show. And then Wednesday night, we have another great show planned. We'll be here all week this week, you guys. We promise you that. All right, K-Renee, go right ahead with that nugget of knowledge.
Well, today, y'all, is Motivational Monday. And here's the nugget. Pray and then let it go. Don't try and manipulate or force the outcome. Just trust God to open the right doors at the right time. And this is Motivational Monday. # prayer changes things.
All right now, amen, sister. Pass that collection basket. For more information, go to karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. Remember, prayer changes things, whatever the circumstance or situation, give it to the Lord in prayer. That's what I always say. Yep, that makes sense. karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. We'll be back tomorrow night with another great show. Let's get some feedback from this audience. We love you guys. We really do.
Yes,
we appreciate you. Hold on. Let me get some feedback. Yay. You are welcome. Oh, yeah. Javondlynn was great. Yeah.
Yes, she was.
Thank you so much, Wamelda. We love you and appreciate you so much. Hey, very good. Very good.
That's right.
Very good. Yes. Thank you, Betty. We appreciate you. Thank you, Betty, for the tag on Facebook. Yes, we really appreciate you. Thank you. You guys stay safe, stay wonderful. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Yes, all of you guys. Thank you, Tony Lindsay, everybody who's been a part of this, Victoria, Jennifer, Shanita, Sonia Moore Lewis, just all of you guys. We appreciate you so very much. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock for the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. For more information about yours truly, please visit therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com, where you can get more information. Yes, what you really need. Let's see. What do we have? You need to expand the show at least 30 minutes. No, my bladder will not allow for that. Remember, we have no commercial breaks. My bladder does not allow for that.
But before we end, I have to announce, we should have said this earlier. Today is National CBD Day. So
yes, it is.
Get you some CBD to help you relax. All that good stuff. So
National CBD Day.
Just click on Google and CBD. Today is National CBD Day.
Yes, and also today is National Make Happiness Happen Day.
Yes.
So that's another thing. We have a few more hours for you guys to make some happiness happen in your life. How about that? Right. Isn't that amazing? Let's see. More feedback from the audience. Where are we at? Here we go. I'm clicking quicker than the comments. That's what the problem is. Oh my God. Come on, comments. Yay. Yes. Very good. Let's pray and let go. That's right. Gummies will travel. Yes, gummies do travel.
Gummies, hon.
That's right. Gummies travel very well.
That's Sal. Today, National CBD Day.
Yes, it is. All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We love and appreciate you guys so much. Be safe, be wonderful, be well, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 7. Okay. Talk to you guys. Have a wonderful evening. We're out of here. Bye.
Bye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show.